All right.
Hey, KEEMSTAR, can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear
Hey,
you.
what's going on? All right, before we go any further, don't want to hit you with any surprises. Just wanted to know if you wanted this to be private or you don't mind us because we're actually still streaming. So if it's private, I'll turn off all the audio so you're not
No, you
recorded.
can stream. You can stream. It's totally fine.
Okay,
So
cool.
basically, I saw that Tipster, he tweeted out something that, you false flag someone. And then I looked at that video and I saw it and I sent you a tweet and I was like, hey man, it's fair use. You can actually get sued for making a false copyright strike, retracted or whatever. Because, people say horrible stuff about me all the time, stuff that I hate, and I wish I could take it down, but you can't, because it's fair use, right? Everyone's okay to have an opinion on you or whatever, right? If they're doing defamatory stuff, yeah, I guess you could, sue them for that. But as far as him like stealing your content and using it, he did it
No,
under fair use. So
that that's not what I filed a claim against him for. That's the thing. People are going around giving out misinformation. So he made a video about me using videos about me. I made a video about his video he made about me defaming me. In my video that I made, the video was made for YouTube. I made the video for YouTube as my evidence because when he made the slander video, I put harassment. I contacted YouTube and filed a harassment and defamation case against me, and I told YouTube I would make a video about his harassment. He implies that I'm a pedophile. He told people me and Etika is a child predator by paying some kid to lie about some other guy or whatever. So what I did was I literally made a commentary video about his slander video against me, refuting all of the slander charges. Fair use, it's commentary. And then I left that up. And I
so did
so what I
did you file a copyright strike on him or not?
No, wait, no, that's afterwards. He then hit me with a copyright claim on the video I made defending myself, saying it's a trademark. I was like, what? My video, which is I'm using to tell YouTube to tell him to stop harassing me, he hit me with a trademark this morning. So then I made a new video today saying that now I'm going to file defamation on his video. I didn't file trademark, I filed defamation and I use it as evidence. He's making I'm not talking about insulting me, dissing me, calling me an idiot, loser or anything. The guy literally like, I'm paying minors, children money to come on streams and lie about people being predators and that I'm a pedophile and I'm dealing with minor.
Real quick. Did the kid lie about straight guy, the other guy? I can't remember his name. Bear with me. Princeton.
Oh,
Right?
the original kid, yeah, who called in and said that, yes, he admitted it. He posted, the kid actually later on then came on Twitter and said that he just did that to troll. He didn't mean it and he lied and he apologized to everyone. His tweet is out there. We can send you the guy's tweet. We know the kid who actually did it.
Was there ever a public correction? Because people still think that that's true,
Myself and Etika never made the claim. The child did. And just to be sure, so there's a lot of people tweeting you, trying to give you the Etika evisceration video, which gives you the full context of what happened. When the kid came on and the kid made that that statement about Street Pass Princess, despite my disliking Street Pass Princess, we told the kid, don't lie on him. We was like, we know he's a scumbag, but you're going overboard now because you're making a statement about him that may not be true. And the kid was like, no, I'm 100% telling the truth. So me and Etika asked him, did you tell your parents? And when the kid, well, not really, it's just that he kind of me and Etika kind of looked at each other, and when the kid hung up, we was like, he's lying. So
when I saw that clip in the stream, it appeared to me that you like knew that the kid was calling in because like right away you were like saying, we need to know how old is your age, and that was before he got into the claim between Princeton or whatever doing anything with him.
But KEEMSTAR, you're looking at what's called a soundbite. What's the context before and after? You can't go off sound bites, man. Sound bites are mad misleading. There's a bunch of people calling in before the kid. And they were all ragging on Street Pass Princeton. But the kid, the reason why we asked what's the age of the kid is because what we were dealing with is a serious matter, and we don't want minors involved in a serious manner. So when a kid came in and said that, we was like, we don't want children to get involved in these type of things, because we don't want to hear from parents saying that we're providing a platform for their children. No, we don't want to get involved in that. So that's why we was like, whoa, where's your parents? We even asked the kid for his parents. And when we was like, well, if this is true, and this is what we said to the kid, if this is true, you need to go talk to your parents. Coming on and making the statement and it not being true, that's not right. And so the kid later on said that, and I even vouched for Street Pass. I was like, all right, I get it. He's a scumbag to me or whatever, but he's not a predator. I've made that claim publicly. Everyone knows this. So he's playing victim.
Made claims that he paid for some flights for you and someone else, and that you
All
said
true,
you were going to
all
pay
true,
him back.
all true, all 100% true. But the context, let's get the context to it. The context was this. So he asked me when I was in, when he first met me, I'm a big Nintendo guy at the time. You know, Nintendo, I stood in a line for all the launches. I knew Reggie directly and all these other people in Nintendo, and he wanted to be my friend because I guess I knew these people. So for him, he's like, you know, hey, TriForce, I want to take you with me to E3. Can you introduce me to people at Nintendo? No problem. I introduced him to people at Comic-Con in New York, whatever the case may be. I went to France. I got into an issue with France. We lost our flight on our way back. I called him for help because he's flown me to places before. He's flown me to Nintendo's headquarters for E3 to help him get into E3. Not a problem, whatever. So he said he'll help me out. And he said, just promise you'll pay me back. And I said, well, you know my situation. I'm poor. I'm still poor today, KEEMSTAR. I'm so poor, I'm homeless. I don't live in America. I live in a third world country. I'm in Jamaica right now. And I live in my wife's house. I have nothing in my name. So he said to me, oh no, don't worry, I understand, TriForce. When you get the chance or you get yourself fixed up financially, just pay me back. All you have to do, just put me in contact with some people in Nintendo and help me out, and we'll consider that holding until you pay me off. So I said, okay. So I introduced him to a bunch of Nintendo peeps. It didn't work out for him. He started getting mad at me. TriForce, you're not making Nintendo work with me. What? I can't make Nintendo work with you. Are you crazy? I can introduce you to the people. It's your job to network. Hey, TriForce, I'm all the way in California. I see you doing this line thing with with C&D and Etika. If I fly all the way down to New York to join you guys on a line, can you introduce me to C&D and Etika? So I said, I spoke to C&D, and C&D was like, all right, TriForce, since it's your friend. I said, yo, it's one of my good friends. He helped me in a bad situation in France. So he flew down. I introduced him to Etika, introduced him to C&D. Everything was good, peachy, whatever. We found out that he couldn't get his return flight. The people who sponsored him deaded his return flight like they did me in France. So while on the line, I then told everyone, hey, let's help Street Pass Princeton get a flight back home to California. While I was doing that on the line, this guy was actually complaining to people outside. TriForce owes me $1,000. He's a scumbag. He's a this. He's a that. And I'm actually helping him get money. And I didn't know. Someone had to come and tell me, yo, TriForce, why are you raising money for this guy? So I was like, what are you talking about? He's out there talking mad shit about you. And I asked Etika to donate for him the whole 9 yards.
I mean, the thing is, how many years has it been since he bought those flights for you? It's been a while.
This was 2014. Yeah. I haven't even been in the country in the last 3 years. I'm in Jamaica.
If you don't pay someone back, like, after years, like, you know, of course they're going to, like, badmouth you.
Oh, no, I get it. I get it. So, more context to it. I came outside, sat down next to them, and I said, it's sad that you're sitting here bad-mouthing me while I'm trying to raise money for you so that you can fly back home to California like you did me. So I understand you're upset and you want your money, but you know I don't have money because the community, the Nintendo community, C&D did a GoFundMe, raised $4,000 to buy me a laptop so I could do YouTube content. You know what Street Pass Princess said? He said I should have took the money from the Nintendo community and paid him for it. I was like, I cannot take money that does not belong to me. First of all, it didn't even go into my GoFundMe. It went into C&D's GoFundMe, and he bought me the laptop. So I told him, chill, be easy. It was all good. Everything was still good. There was no war. It was until after the Nintendo launch, it was a war. He then called one of my best friends and threatened my best friends that if I don't do something for him or whatever, he's going to go and expose me for the fraud that I am. So I said, oh, so you threatening me? So we had that video with Etika where I aired him out.
So do you ever plan on paying him
Of
back?
course, I've said it in the stream, and I said it to everyone else. I get my situation together and I can start generating money, I will pay him. But I cannot use other people's money to pay him. That is wrong. He said himself in his own words, when I get on my feet, I can pay him. Okay, fine. I'm trying to get myself back together. I'm doing better as of these days, and I'm getting myself back together. But after that war that I had with him back then, I told him, yo, I'm going to put you at the back of the line, but I'm going to pay him. I've made it public. You're not the only one. Knows I'm streaming and I'm saying this. This is like my 5th time. The whole Nintendo community knows this. The whole Nintendo community knows this. But the Nintendo community doesn't want me to pay him back because they think he's a scumbag for other things he has done, which I'm not going to badmouth him about. You just need to just watch the video and you'll find out the other things that he's done. And the Nintendo community is like, they're not giving me a red cent to go help him. So until I go get a job and make my own money and pay him, I cannot pay him. You can't squeeze water from a rock.
So I'm looking at your stream now, and you have different ways to make money. It's
what does it say though? The people the people who are donating are not. They're donating to that cause. You can't, KEEMSTAR.
Do you make money from streaming though? Is what I'm asking.
Do I make a profit from streaming? No. Do I make money from streaming? Yes. I don't make a profit. I make just enough to pay my bills. I pay my light, my cable, my rent, my gas, my water, and down here in Jamaica. That's it. I don't. KEEMSTAR, this thing about me G5ing and I'm driving on a Bentley or a Maybach, or I don't know, KEEMSTAR. I don't have anything. I'm a poor black Rastafarian Jamaican guy in Jamaica streaming Octopath Traveler, which a community had to buy for me because I'm broke. Okay, and it's public.
The point that Princeton is making is that basically he loaned you money for these flights, right?
Yeah.
And because you couldn't pay him back, and because he started talking to other people, telling them, hey, TriForce isn't paying me back, that's when you started this campaign to ruin his career.
No, that's not true. You can ask Erica. That is not true. That is not true. He started the campaign on the line. I went out there and sat down and talked to him while he was disrespecting me on the line. Erica even had to say, but dogs, like TriForce is the one who's trying to get me to give you money to get home, B. He just told him that on the line. And he's like, y'all can't even fuck with you, dogs. I'm a feeling to take my money back so you get stranded out here. And even after what I did to him, I felt sorry for him. And I told him, I didn't want anyone to do that to you, but you can't be out here threatening to try to destroy me, B, especially when you know my situation. So he's not having any empathy or compassion for me as a human being. He's on his good old American, fuck you, pay me. I don't give a fuck who you are or you dying in a country starving. I don't give a fuck. Okay.
Yeah, but if someone loans you money like that, you shouldn't do anything to them, like, negative at all. You should just focus on, being grateful and paying them back.
I am. Did you not just hear what I said? He said that.
I also know that he has been accused of scamming people as well.
That has nothing to do with me. I didn't accuse him of any. All I spoke on him about is how he tried to blow me up. That's it. And it's called the evisceration. That's it. People called in and started talking about he's scammed them and scammed this other people and all this other people. And I'm like, okay. So, and that's what happened to him. All I told people was, don't follow him. That's it. People say at the same time to me, don't follow TriForce. Look, there's other people on Twitter right now saying, TriForce, you're a scumbag and you're this and that. All right, so just don't follow me. What's the problem?
I also was looking at this video for a meme, and he brought into question some of your scores, and why I have you here, I kind of want to ask you about that. Like,
sure, ask away. We ain't hiding nothing here.
Your scores are fake. There's no videos. He said a couple of the games were just impossible for you to get those scores. Like,
all right. So, where do you want me to start? How do you want me to answer this? What's the main question? Is the score real? All right. So the scores are real. They're official.
Are all these scores real?
They're all official. These scores were done in a time where scores my first referee. So they're all saying that I have a corrupt referee that validates all my scores. My first 22 scores was done by a different ref that no one knows about. And I don't ever bring up his name because I don't want anyone to know. I want them to keep lying about me until the ref steps up and he goes, no, actually, I'm the one who verified his records. And those were all done by VCR tapes. And Twin Galaxies.
But that seems shady though if you don't say who the ref is.
No, if you're attacking me, I don't have to provide you with any information. People take information and they turn it around. Keemstar, we're in a social media age, B. Donald Trump won the election off of Twitter. Come on, B. It's easy to change anything around. Twin Galaxies has the information. If you go on Twin Galaxies' website, they don't even give you the ref. Twin Galaxies itself doesn't even tell you who the ref is. So why do I have to tell anyone who the ref is? If Twin Galaxies is, so what are you trying to say? Twin Galaxies is corrupt? Is that what's being said here? Not saying.
Yeah, I think Twin Galaxies came under fire like earlier this year for being corrupt. Like that was like the main thing.
No, look, Twin Galaxies, no organization. Let's be realistic here. No organization in sports, politics, and economic history is ever perfect. No, but not all organizations are corrupt. People make mistakes in organizations, things get fouled up, and then yes, you do have corruption. Twin Galaxies, in my opinion, based on certain circumstances, aren't corrupt. And then there are corrupt situations in Twin Galaxies, but it's been dealt with already. So I don't see what the issue here is.
So what are your thoughts on what happened with Todd Rogers?
I think there's a lot of convolution, because originally the original claim was it is 100% impossible to get that score no matter what. Under no circumstances. This means even if you break the game, glitch it, code it, whatever, you can't get the time that Todd Rogers got. The score was adjudicated by Guinness, not Twin Galaxies. The score was brought over to Twin Galaxies, and the administration at the time looked at the evidence provided to them by the source at the time that adjudicated the score. Activision, Guinness, Play Magazine, or I think it was Replay Magazine. Yes, those and magazine, and Atari. Atari had provided their whole thing or whatever, and Twin Galaxies then adopted the score into their database, but they never adjudicated it. Okay, that's fine. Now, if the modern Twin Galaxies administration says due to the scientific evidence, we don't have enough to be able to claim that the score is real, we'll have to remove the score, then by all means remove the score. Contacting Guinness and telling Guinness to remove the score from their database when Twin Galaxies isn't the one that adjudicated it, that's reaching. Wiping out Todd Rogers' entire database based on other things that have nothing to do with the Dragster score, that's a little bit too much. That's my stance on it. I can understand they have the scientific evidence based on what they used and whatever. They want to remove the score from the database, remove the score from the database. That's just, but everything else kind of comes off kind of malicious. I don't know where to stand on that.
So I guess what you're saying is if somebody has a false score somehow in Twin Galaxies or Guinness, right? Mm-hmm. That score should be removed and they shouldn't be banned?
If proven false, yes. No, I'm sorry, because I jumped ahead with the answer. If proven false, they should have their score removed and banned. Yes. But they stated in Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell's case that they couldn't conclusively confirm anything. They couldn't conclusively confirm that Todd Rogers can't get a 551. And they couldn't conclusively confirm that Billy Mitchell played on main. All they know is that Billy did not play on a certified PCP board. And it's normal when it actually happens all the time when people play on what they think is to be certified boards, and it's actually not. Steve Wiebe played on a Donkey Kong board, and the Twin Galaxies administration at the time when Walter was running it, he just thought it was a wrong board because a guy called Roy Schultz is the one who gave the board, and Twin Galaxies had a problem with Roy Schultz. And under that impression, they invalidated Steve Wiebe's score, but they didn't ban him. They just said we don't trust that. We don't trust that score. And
that was in the movie. That wasn't. He actually didn't. Steve Wiebe actually did that on the wrong board. Like he legitimately cheated, but he wasn't banned.
Oh, okay. So let's go with that story. Either way, when you want to go it. So whether you want to call him he legitimately cheated or not, I don't know, because we have to prove that he knew. The thing about cheating is this. We have to prove that Steve Wiebe knew Roy Schultz tampered the board, and knowing they still played on the board. You can't prove that. So I have to give Steve Wiebe the benefit of the doubt. He probably was set up by Roy Schultz. You don't know. So based on that invalidated score, Walter invalidated the score and said, listen, you want to go after the score again? We'll give you another chance to go at it at a certified live event, etc. And he gave him a chance to do it again, and he got the score. This was not afforded to Billy Mitchell, which is funny because Billy Mitchell just scored 2 million point score, well, 2 million point games, which means 2 separate games in the same week. We scored 1 million points in Donkey Kong. So he proves he can do it. But they just said, no, your score was not done on a certified PCP Donkey Kong board. We're removing that score, and all of your 1982 arcade games that you did before MAME was even invented, we're removing those scores as well, and we're telling Guinness to remove all your scores, Player of the Century, Pac-Man, everything. We're moving all of that and ban you from both things. You think that's right? Did we prove that Billy knew that the boards he was playing on was not authentic? Did anyone prove that? No. So this is harsh punishment. This is what I thought was going to happen. When if they find out, go on.
These are my personal thoughts. I think maybe the score should have been removed, but I don't think Billy Mitchell should have been banned. And those are my personal.
You know,
thoughts.
You know, so funny. Me, you, and Billy agree. Billy was like, well, if they say that it's this is what Billy told me personally, and I'm quoting Billy. Well, I know I played the arcade. I played in a stand-up. I played it live. There's no way it could have been MAME. I said, Billy, it's actually possible you could have been playing on a bootleg board, and that's what they actually may come with. Okay, so if it's a bootleg board, then erase it. I'll just do it again. So me and Billy was under an impression that, well, if we find out that it's on a bootleg board, they'll erase it, and you'll just do it again. And you'll prove that you can do it on 1 million points. When we came to see the verdict, we were, whoa, this is way too much. That went left field.
You're the next one, like under the microscope, right?
Oh, of course. There's a list, and I'm next on under the microscope. Yes.
A lot of people in this community around Twin Galaxies and the classic games and all that, and they're all saying that you're next. That you have some questionable stuff. Yeah. With your history and with your scores. Do you think that you're going to get banned next?
No, because the difference with Billy and Todd is this. Billy and Todd, in my opinion, they gave out way too much information. Information that was used to manipulate and change the goalposts of the dispute. So every time the goalposts of the dispute moves, they have to defend a different situation. And they got back until it wasn't even about the original dispute. The original dispute had everything to do with the original dispute had everything to do with what's the name of this thing here? Billy Mitchell playing on MAME. That if you go to the dispute thread, that's literally what it says. It says Billy Mitchell is played on MAME. If you look at the verdict of Twin Galaxies, the verdict of Twin Galaxies says we could not conclusively, definitively conclude that Billy played on MAME. So by that rule right there, he beat the case. However, Twin Galaxies then goes on to say, however, we have evidence that he didn't play on an official PCB board. So that is grounds to remove his score, and I 100% agree with it. Remove the score. I don't think it's grounds to remove his legacy. So me, now when it comes to these guys' score, when they come asking me, I've seen the list that I'm on. I'm not giving them any information. They want information, go ask Twin Galaxies. And when the proper authorities in Twin Galaxies comes and asks me for information, I will provide them information in private so that Twin Galaxies can get their side of the story, my side of the story, and they can come to the conclusion, which is the absolute truth, with no tampering of the information. That's how it works.
And so let's say that they do this investigation and they find some of your scores are illegitimate. Like, why would they be illegitimate?
I can say this in 100%. None of my scores are illegitimate. So that question I cannot answer.
Score that would be most hard to defend if it was called out to be illegitimate?
None. Let me explain to you why. Some of these scores I've done for Guinness independently by Guinness. They're not Twin Galaxies records. They're Guinness records. I'm an 8-time Guinness World Record holder. And I've done, for instance, TriForce, you mean to tell me you stood up 24 hours playing Tetris? I stayed up 41 hours with Guinness doing a Tetris World Record in 2016 at Guinness's sanctioned event to launch the 2017 book. I'm not worried about it. The difference between me and Billy Mitchell and Todd Rogers, their games are very, very, very dated, and they don't have a lot of evidence to pretty much defend themselves. I have my evidence to defend myself. That's it.
In the video by Meme, he said that you know he couldn't find any of your runs online. Is that true?
My records were done in a time where I didn't even upload like anything online other than my team stuff. I didn't do any records and upload anything online. Twin Galaxy, the 20, I have 40 something records.
Do you have copies of all your records? Like, do you have all video copies of your records?
I was under the impression once it gets into Twin Galaxies, you're good. I turned over my tape. I don't have any copies. Twin Galaxies has them. That's it. And they're like, why did you keep a copy? Why should I? Okay, my Guinness records. Do I have a copy of any of my Guinness records that I've done for Guinness? No. So I'm consistent. I have no copies of my... my Tetris record for Guinness. Did they record that? No. Guinness didn't record it. They just sent the ref. That's it. The ref verified it. That was it. The only record I have by Guinness that's ever recorded was live streamed by 8-Way Run when I had to play for 24 hours against the Master Bot. That's it. That's the only thing that's actually live that's online. Pretty much.
Why do you think these people online are targeting you next?
Yes, great question, Keemstar. These people online are targeting me because it's not me. I'm not arrogant enough to actually make this all about me. It's about the history of gaming, and where esports truly started from. Esports started from Twin Galaxies, the very same Twin Galaxies that's hosting a fight club right now. Twin Galaxies was the first organization to set an infrastructure that turned competitive gaming into a sport. Prior to Twin Galaxies, there was always competitive gaming, but no one set an infrastructure for it. Twin Galaxies set that infrastructure and worked with entities throughout the video game and outside of the video game industry, from Nintendo to Atari to the Arcade Museum, Coin Cash, whatever, Guinness, and a bunch of other entities to create a database in which Guinness looks as the gold standards for their source. That organization went through hell and back to... And Walter, they dragged it all the way to Jace Hall's doorstep. And Jace Hall took it, and now Jace Hall revolutionized Twin Galaxies, modernized it, evolved it, in which it not only pays homage to its origins in what it's done to bring esports to where it is, but then now to what you see here in Fight Club. And this is all a promo to Twin Galaxies, although I do not agree with Jace Hall's verdict against Billy and Todd, but I'm just keeping it real. So I 100% support what Twin Galaxies was, is, and trying to be, but I don't always have to agree with some of the decisions that they made. Some of the decisions are bad, and I'm not going to agree with some of the bad decisions that the Twin Galaxies make, and that's just what it is.
If you agree that you know, Todd and Billy shouldn't have been banned, then how can you be so confident that it's not going to happen to you now that you're under the microscope?
Because Twin Galaxies themselves said the following: the person whose record is being disputed does not have to defend their record. Their record is already defended because it's in the Twin Galaxies database. From Jace Hall's words himself, Twin Galaxies does not re-adjudicate scores put into the database. It is up to the disputer to find scientific evidence to prove that the score is invalid. They need that evidence, and Twin Galaxies will only accept scientific evidence to remove it. They don't accept he said, she said. They don't accept mob thing. Remove the score, Twin Galaxies, because we don't think it's possible. They don't accept any of that garbage.
I have to ask this again because I'm not sure I got the answer, or maybe I just lost track. But why do you think they're targeting you?
Okay, well, I answered that question, but I didn't answer that question. Okay. They're targeting me along with a long list of other people. You're not the only, I'm not the only one. That's what I want you to understand. It's a list of people. Walter Day, the founder of Twin Galaxies, is on the list too. That's crazy. Joel West, it's a bunch of people on the list. And these are people that are friends with Todd and Billy and a bunch of other guys that all have helped pretty much bring Twin Galaxies to where it is for Jace Hall to take over. That's literally what it is. I don't know what else to say. So I'm on the list because I support Billy. I'm friends with them. People have told me, TriForce, man, if I were you, I'd separate yourself from Billy because they'll come after you next. I'm not going to separate myself from Billy. Whatever happens to Billy has nothing to do with my friendship and relationship with Billy. I'm not going to be bullied out of not being his friend because I'm scared of my records. My records stand firm because I know my records are 100. So I'm not worried about it. And I'm not giving them any information to attack me. So good luck for them finding scientific evidence.
Hypothetically speaking, you know, they did come after you and you were banned. Like, what would that say about Twin Galaxies?
If Twin Galaxy, let me answer this question in this manner. If Twin Galaxies banned my records, removed my records and banned me from Twin Galaxies without any scientific evidence, then they're running a corrupt ship. It's just that simple. And I will campaign it and prove it. Because I'm going to be like, where's the scientific evidence that you removed me? It's just that simple. See, Twin Galaxies has gone through an actual scientific investigation with Todd Rogers and Billy Mitchell. Although the Todd Rogers thing is, in my opinion, I think is incomplete. I just think, I don't think that they found it because they tested OmniGamer's theory, but they didn't test what's the name of this thing here? They didn't test Todd's theory because Todd's like almost 60, and what they wanted Todd to be able to prove his record at 60 years old, which, well, wherever 60 he is, which I just thought was just a foolishness. Like, how you expect this old man to redo what he did 35 years ago? That's just buffoonery in itself. I don't see how that's even possible. But whatever, that they made the decision, whatever. Billy Mitchell, they were able to scientifically prove it wasn't an official board. I just think the punishment was just over the top. Downright almost malicious, in my opinion. That's just my opinion about it.
What if Twin Galaxies goes to investigate, your tapes and they don't have them? Is that your fault or Twin Galaxies?
Who KEEMSTAR, you answered the question. KEEMSTAR, you answered the question. Twin Galaxies goes, please submit your tapes to us so we can adjudicate them and put them into the database. I have to surrender the tapes to Twin Galaxies. I surrendered the tapes to Twin Galaxies. They have it.
There's this theory out there that, there was a corrupt, referee that was putting your scores in. And let's say, the new owners of Twin Galaxies go to look to review your tapes and there's no tapes there. Then what? What should happen? What?
The corrupt ref? What does he have anything to do with the tapes? That's between the transferring of ownerships and administration. I don't you know what you're talking, this is what it sounds like. You're asking me what happens if the Obama administration and the Trump administration lost some stuff to whatever, blah, 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 and how that affects me. I'm not into politics. This is not my company. It's not my administration. It got nothing to do with me. I'm just a player. I played. They ref my game. Some of the games have VCR tapes. Some don't. That's it. There's nothing else.
I'm just wondering what happens if there's no tapes. If they're looking for the tapes and they can't find the tapes.
According to Twin Galaxies does not re-adjudicate scores. They said Jace Hall, out of his own mouth, said we have to honor the scores submitted by the refs at the time. Done. He said it himself. I got a recording of it. So, yeah, I have a recording of it.
Okay, I think that's pretty much all the questions I had. But just real quick, I think it was Activision that actually sent the score over to Twin Galaxies for Todd Rogers, not Guinness.
I don't know. The point is the score was adopted by Twin Galaxies, not adjudicate. I don't know if Guinness or Activision, either one of them provided Twin Galaxies with whatever is needed to go into there. So that's just that. So it's not Twin Galaxies' score to tell another organization to remove. Twin Galaxies can remove it from their database because they didn't adjudicate it. That makes sense. They didn't adjudicate the score, remove it.
One more question with the Princeton, and then I'm good.
All right.
Recently in a stream, were you suggesting that he's a pedo?
No. So let me answer that in full context. So this Etika stream that we had, kids called in So there's a 15-year-old kid. His name is, shout outs to Red Sniper Gabe. It's a 15-year-old kid. He was on the Nintendo Switch line. I met his parents. His parents are mad cool with me, right? In fact, when he stood overnight on the line, his parents entrusted myself and C&D to look after their son. He's been to gaming parties with us. He's traveled with us to events under their parents knowing of this because they trusted us. This Street Pass Princeton guy contacted Gabe and asked to help Gabe getting to a convention outside of his living state of New York in Boston. Now, Gabe called in and said, I found it weird that this grown man would ask me, hey man, you want to go to PAX? I can help you go there. And I was like, what? Gabe, how old are you? I'm 15. So I didn't say it. The implication's there. So we said, Gabe, can you substantiate this? And Gabe put on Twitter the actual phone conversation on Twitter. Him asking a minor to help him go to some event. Do I know the context to that? Nope. Did I ask? Nope. Just that's what was said. Was it said by me? Nope.
In a recent stream, somebody was telling me that you said that you were even going to call the cops on Princeton.
This regarding the Gabe situation. So let me put the context to that. So I said, I don't know why this Princeton guy is still attacking me. I could call the cops on him and show them the text he asked a 15-year-old minor and see what happens to him then. That's the context to it. That's the full context to a publicly known issue. And so if you want to look for the guy, his name is called @RSGabe. You can hit him up on Twitter. He'll give you the actual tweet and he can speak on it. In fact, he tweeted you and told you don't get involved in this because you're defending the wrong guy. Just letting you know. Just giving you. That's why I told you get all the information first, then sit down in your room and you draft up what you think is the truth. I don't have a truth side. I just have my side, B. I'm not trying to convince you of nothing.
And in that meme video at the very beginning, he did like a Google search on your name, and a bunch of people said that you were scamming them and doing horrible things. Yeah. With all these people, saying that you scammed them and that you lied or whatever, and then with this situation with Princeton and him buying these flights and never getting paid back, I feel like somehow into the conversation of you cheating with your scores. Like if they're going to put you under the microscope for that and say, look at all this other stuff that he lied and scammed people with.
Well, you have to prove I lied and scammed people. Anyone can write anything on Reddit. People write things about you, KEEMSTAR. Does that mean it's true?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
So they have to prove it. And you know what I told people so many times? Give me a platform to discuss these allegations against me. I'm not running anywhere. I will address every single allegation against me. No one gives me a platform. Do you know why? Because they have no evidence against it. They're just saying it. At the end of this, I'm going to send you a DM of a picture of I went to Walmart last year, right? Earlier this year to go buy a box of Super Mario Brothers cereal. And I did a video about it because to do giveaways for the Super Mario Brothers cereal. Someone clipped a freeze frame of me shopping for Super Mario Brothers cereal and put it on Reddit and said they were a girl and that while I was buying my Super Mario Brothers cereal and they came up to me to ask for an autograph, I tried to pull the girl into the back of an alley to show her my unmentionables in this dark alley, 12 a.m. midnight at night in the freezing 0-degree weather of Ohio at the time, and they posted this on Reddit. And then someone came and go, oh, come on, you guys are going out of hand. I'm deleting this. Before they deleted this, we went to the Wayback Time Machine and we got the address for it and copied it. And I'm going to send you it because people just write anything. This doesn't mean it's true. You have to prove it. So I don't care what people write about me. There's a lot of people. How many people DM'd you defending me?
No one.
Really? Then you're not reading your Twitter. I'll go
DM me. No. I mean,
I'm sorry. I said DM. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean DM. How many people tweeted to you regarding this case defending me? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say DM.
I talked to Etika, and Etika said, he's like, you're a cool dude, but I'm not sticking my neck out there for him. Like, there's some shady stuff going on that he just doesn't want any part of.
All right. That's on him.
But he said that you're a cool dude, and like he just doesn't want any part of this. So
that means he doesn't want to get involved in the mess. So what can I do? Don't want to get involved in this.
But anyhow, yeah, I think that answered all my questions. You know, I've seen a bunch of people in the chat saying, you know, talking about me doing a drama. I don't even think I'm doing a drama. I just think you know, like I said, I saw this video. I saw that you false copyright struck this guy, and I just went down this rabbit hole, watched the video, and just had a bunch of questions. So I don't know if I'm ever going to run a story on this or not, but I'm glad that, you know, I had a chance to talk to you. I'm glad that I had a chance to talk to Princeton, and I just feel like people aren't making that much money in these communities. If everyone needs flights to go to events and stuff.
Oh no. Well, this was no. They're making enough money. My team is a legacy team that was born out of the community. I don't have a corporate esports team. My team is made by players for players. So we out of the community. So we're poor. We don't have big sponsors backing us like the big other esports teams is, but we're very accomplished in what we've done in our tenure. We're still competing now, right as we speak. Right now, one of our legendary players, Sanford Kelly, is at Twin Galaxies, competing against Justin Wong and Sanford Kelly. So and Desmond was playing, and KDZ's at Evo. So, and all of this is powered by our community, and we don't make no qualms or false accusations that we're some rich team or some. No, we don't. We're a poor team, a struggling community team, and we're doing our best to do what we do in competitive gaming to see what small sponsors we can gather to help push our team. So don't get the wrong idea. There's a lot of money in esports, just not for us. And our team is majority black. So yeah, whatever that means. And that's how it is.
Nah, I don't think that's how it is. I know a lot of
we're the only majority black team that I know in esports. We're the only majority black team I know in esports.
I know some black players in esports.
There's a lot of black players in esports making a hell of a lot of money. None of them's in my team. We have 13 Evo championships. We have won more tournaments than any other esports team in the world. Over 2,000 plus certified by Guinness. We have records out the wazoo. We've had former players like Justin Wong, IFC Yipes, Mewtwo King, Armada, Knuckle Doo, you name them. In fact, a lot of the greatest fighters ever in America all came out of our team. They're on to better pastures and teams that can provide them with what they're looking for as players. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it for them, and they've gone to greener pastures, and we wish them the best. Others are more loyal, and they see the loyalty side of it, and they stay with us, such as Jerron, Sanford, KDZ, not Knuckle Doo, the game, Fernando.
But I mean, if you're the owner of the team, isn't it your responsibility to make sure these guys are getting paid?
Yes, it is. My job, and I do my best to try to get sponsors. And we have people out there constantly slandering me. Makes it hard for sponsors to want to do anything with us. So it's kind of it's hard.
I mean, I'm not here to shit on you, but like you've been at this for a long time. Like you should be.
That line is so you know something. If I had a nickel every time someone said that line, yeah, I should be, but I'm not. And it's what it is. I'm not.
Hey, well, I'm gonna let you go, but just one thing, and it's just stuck in my mind. In the meme video, he said something about you had a world record, and I forgot the game.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage. Not that one. It was the Super Nintendo on arcade, right?
Super Nintendo.
Mario Brothers.
Contra 3. Oh, Mario Brothers. The 10 choice arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a record on that, and he said that there was a time limit on the game, and it was impossible to get that score. He said it was like a 5-minute time limit or something like that.
So let's take a look at this, right? So there's an event. I'll just be transparent about this situation. This was done at a live event, right, in 2011 or 2012. I could be wrong with the years. I can't remember which years. There's an event. There's an arcade called Star Worlds Arcade. It's in Chicago, run by a gentleman called Patrick O'Malley. And then it was supposed to celebrate some anniversary for the event, whatever the case may be. It's not a big deal. And in that event, what happened here? They had a play 10 choice arcade game that they had, or whatever the case may be, and it had Mario Brothers in it. So I said, wow, Walter, and Walter Day was there, the CEO and the founder of Twin Galaxies. So I said, Walter, is there a variation for this game in the Twin Galaxies database? And Walter looked and he says, no, there's no variation here. So I said, could I do a record here, and would you put it in Twin Galaxies if I could actually did a record and use it to commemorate the Star Wars arcade event? And Walter said yes. So Walter made the variation. And in the variation that Walter did, so I told Walter that the arcade box machine gives you a certain amount of time to play the game, not the timer in the game. So when you put in a quarter, you get a certain amount of time to play the game. When you run out of time, the arcade pauses your game and asks you to insert more quarters to get more time to play the arcade game, but you still have more time in your actual game. So Walter says that timer doesn't count. So they set the timer for me to max 99 and said, don't worry about it. He said, just play the game. We'll leave it there, whatever the case may be. Walter said, don't worry about it. So I was like, all right, thanks, Walter. So Walter was the one who put the variation in and allowed me to play at max time for the arcade, not the game I was playing.
Anywhere, because it's like, you know, I don't know, because like, do you think the other people competing for that score know about this rule set?
No, they don't. They don't look. That's the funny thing, Keemstar. The people who are making these claims don't even look at the rules. They just look at the score and say, there's no way he could have done it. And they just go online and complain. And the rules is right there.
The rules are right there on the Twin Galaxy page?
Yeah. You know what one of the thing is? They don't even ask. TriForce, how did you get enough time to play the game? Had they asked me that, I would have answered the question. Oh, I did answer the question. Because when in his video that he brought up, in my video where I counter his video, I actually tell him the same thing I told you. That it was done at Star Wars, in which Walter Day created the variation right there on the spot. And it was adjudicated. So that's how it went in. That's why other refs outside of the entire thing didn't know about it, because it's Walter who did it, and he was the owner and the founder of Twin Galaxies at that time during that administration. So these guys, like I said, these guys are just speaking out of ignorance because they just want to prove me to be some bad guy. So I don't know what to tell you. That's it.
I want to see if I can find your this on what is your idea in Twin Galaxies?
My ideal? Well, I don't.
How do you
username?
Oh, my username on Twin Galaxies?
The rules are there.
It's just It's just TriForce. That's it.
Yo, I gotta point out something that
what?
Actually KEEMSTAR said. Like, there is a list and you're under the microscope. Wouldn't that be considered collusion, which is forbidden in Twin Galaxies?
Yes, but it's whatever.
It's funny.
Okay, I'm going to it right now. Bear with me.
I have all the time. Don't worry about it.
I'm watching this match right now between Sanford and Yipes and Justin. This match is ridiculous.
Oh wait, is it already up?
They've been playing. While I was talking to Keemstar, I've been watching it.
God.
And Sanford's making me cringe here with these nail biters. Oh, there go Blue Jay in the crowd. Shout outs to Blue Jay. Sorry again, so I'm sure you guys this stuff that's going on.
It says here at the end of the browser level until the last possible second, causing the timer to revert to 999.
That's in game. That has nothing to do with the arcade game. That's the in-game. So
tactic. Well, it's under arcade. I'm looking at the rules for arcade.
Yeah. So I'm explaining to you what that is. So in the actual game, there's a timer. So every level, you start with, I think, 300 seconds, if I last remember. I haven't played this game in a long time. And if you wait to the end and jump on the hammer at the 0 seconds, the computer will turns the timer back to 999. And then, because you get points for the amount of time you beat the level, and it'll go from 999 and give you 50 points for all for every second in the game. They banned that, so you're not allowed to do that. That has nothing to do with the arcade machinery itself, which allows you a certain amount of time to play the game. You ever been in an arcade and played one of those games that you put in quarters and then like you play and then you run out a certain amount of time, and to continue your game you have to put more money in. It has nothing to do with how good you are. You could have all 5,000 men or whatever, and you just run out of time, and the game says please continue where you last left off, where there's a timer in the game.
It says extra life coins 100. Is that what it means? You're allowed to put 100 coins in there?
No. That's if you in the game you collect coins in the game, in the physical game. So there's a difference between coins and quarters, right? Okay. So you collect coins in the actual game. When you collect the coins in the game, every 100 coins you collect, you get a free an additional life in the game.
Of course, I was just confused by that. I'm trying to find the spot where it says that you're allowed to, you know.
No, there is none, because it wasn't stated. It's not stated that you can put set the timer to max, and it's not stated that you can't. That's just what I did. So if anyone asked me, I would have just simply told them, no, you guys can just play the game straight up. Like you can put on whatever amount of quarters you want in the game. You just, when your game ends, your game ends. Had they needed clearance, so if Twin Galaxies asked me that, so let's say Twin Galaxies goes, well, TriForce, what's going on with this? You only had a certain amount of time in the game. How did you get this score? I would have just told them, oh, in play choice 10 for that variation, you're allowed to set the time. You can use a dip switch setting in the game and set it to max time, or you can put in the amount of quarters as possible. I don't think anyone would do it. Or the person can open up the arcade for you, and they click there's a switch that the switch is that every time a quarter hits the switch, it adds the time into the game. Or you could just click that infinitely until you and you get the max 999, and you can keep putting in to keep your score at your timer for the arcade machine box at 9, so you can keep playing until you complete your game in game or die, one of the two. So that's
cool.
That's pretty much it. And I would have said that, and guess what Twin Galaxies would have just said? Oh, okay, so then anyone can play at 999. Yes, everyone is allowed to go to a play choice 10 and open up the back of the machine, show that it's an official game, and set the meter to 999. Those were the rules I played on. Everyone's allowed to play on those rules too. It's not
what nationality is Mario? I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was gonna answer. I was gonna answer that for you. Actually, he's not Italian. He's mixed. He's an Italian. He's an Italian. He says he eats pasta.
People were trolling me in the chat that I didn't know what Mario was. I did. I just got confused by the 100 coins and extra lives. I thought that was the timer.
He eats pasta. He eats pasta. He eats pasta like an Italian, jumps like a black man, gets money like a Jewish man, and there's a meme about that shows you what Mario is. He's like, he's mixed. It's kind of godlike. I was like, yo, Mario's mixed, me. But yeah.
Get soap that would be half black, half white.
Pretty much. Oh man.
What about, was the soap thing racist? Was it 100% racist?
Okay. I'm going to be very honest with you. As I said before, it wasn't racist. It was just a terrible, terrible. When I introduced Street Pass Princeton to C&D and Etika, Street Pass Princeton gave them gifts. And then he gave me a bar of soap. Black soap at that. And I just looked at him.
What did he give Etika?
They gave them swag and clothes, jackets, and Nintendo stuff. But I got a bar of black soap. That's it, just it.
Was it just a joke? And then, you know?
No, he was serious about the gift. I laugh at it. I've even made a meme about it. I made a video where I'm about to take a shower, and I come and I grab my pants. I had a black jeans, black shirt, and then I go and I grab the black bar of soap he gave me, and I take a shower with it. There's a video of it. So I laugh with it. Do I think he was maliciously racist about it? No, but do I think he's an idiot? Yes.
It's black soap. It's like a charcoal soap. It works really well. So I was just curious. I was like, I don't know, dude. I use black soap. But all right. I think I asked everything that I want to ask, and even more than I want to ask. And, you know, I appreciate you letting me come on here and ask you these questions, dude.
Definitely. I appreciate you coming on and talking with me for the time that you talk with me. Got no problems with that, man. All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. See ya.
No problem. Later.
No, hit it.
All right.